Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just going over the XGames, some CSGO.
Tons of Counter-Strike.
Grand final. Of course, LDLC 1-0 up at this point. Dust, going into game 2, what happened there? Obviously, LDLC one map away from being XGames gold medalists, but seems like there's a little bit of a comeback in that map number 2.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, so when you saw map 1 end in that VOD you were watching, you really did see people like Kiyoshima and Shox just coming absolutely huge in these games. And it was just, you know, this was like some vintage Shox. Shox, throughout the year 2013, was kind of considered the best player in the world. And coming into LDLC, he looked to drop off a bit, not by much. I mean, he was still doing really well. He just wasn't like this vibrant star. Because they just have so many talents over at LDLC now. They have a well-rounded roster. But he was just going absolutely bonkers in this set. And Kiyoshima, the big player that they look to now to be kind of a star, was definitely on point, just coming through and just getting all these crazy kills. And so we go into Inferno, and I mean, you know, LDLC is looking hot, and now they're getting onto their best map against NIP. Now, granted, this is also NIP's best map, so it's kind of who is really the best on Inferno, I guess, is like what this argument boils down to. And in this game, you know, it's very, very back and forth. You know, NIP starts on the CT side. They are up 9-6, which isn't like the best CT side, but still, you know, pretty decent. I mean, you like to get 10+, but, you know, 9 is respectable. So then you go into the second half, and LDLC is able to win pistol and you know, get the game really close. Eventually, it does tie up 10-10. And then at this point, you just see them going back and forth. But eventually, NIP does get a 14-11 lead. And so you're thinking, okay, you know, NIP, you know, looking pretty good here. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, LDLC just come up big and some big rounds in regulation. You know, MBK had like a quad kill round, rushing into B, just like opening up the site by himself and just, you know, kind of dominating. And then you kind of have some really tight 2v2s that take place to get it to what actually was a tie. And it does force an overtime, which I think we're actually going to take a look at.
Yes, we are. We have the VOD ready and waiting of the overtime. I hear it's pretty intense. So Ron, without any further waiting, let's take a look.
At least LDLC have one map to work with, but again with Cobble, that's such a wild card. They both are playing for it all right now. Smiths is holding that off angle. Michael trying to come up, see if he can spot anyone. No one really there yet, though. He'll flash it off so that Freiburg can pop out and go for that peek. Walks around the corner, but again, passive this time from LDLC. 2 ops on the board. We make mention of that only because it is overtime and investments do cost if you can't get at least 1 round early. It's an IP. Warmed up on the T side. They're now regrouping toward middle. Shoxy's inside the site. Kiyo's off. This time in the pit. Smiths is in library, so they've got an opportunity to at least get up and control the upper part of middle because they aren't playing it aggressive anywhere right now. See if they come around. Smiths, though, rotating back. He's watching very intently on that corner. Shoxy's going to smoke off the opposing side. They're buying themselves good time. Get Right is flashed off. He was the one that wanted to come around the corner. Smith's going to relocate on that invitation, and now he's going to drop some fire out, but he's going to try and come into it. Smiths catches Michael, so early advantage for them. Team flash, not sure that was intended because Smiths was trying to get a little bit more aggressive. So A under lock right now. Freiburg's actually going to, on that, try and fall back to B and at least see if he can get a pick, because if he can, they might have their best chance over there. Forrest actually got through. Oh, this is key right now as he gets in through the Archies on CT. They can pinch and completely catch Happy and MBK off guard, but MBK doesn't care. He's already got 2. Happy's going to get the other, and MBK sees Forrest coming. They're wise to it, so 1 round on overtime gone, and it goes to LDLC 16-15 on the CT side. Overtime, it really comes down to the one terrorist win. If Ninjas in Pajamas want to do it, they've got to do it in the first half.
And the most dangerous part of a setup like LDLC had there was that they're playing so far back on the A site. They get such limited information, so it's very easy for the T's to trick them into thinking that maybe there's more players in a part of the map than there really is, making the B players particularly strong as the rotation gets hurt. And it's a strong setup, though. We've got 3 players towards B right here for LDLC, mixing it up again, as right now they are awaiting Smiths to give them an early round advantage. However, would expect a flash to come over here, or a nade at least. There it is. 1 HE. Smith does fall back. He's going to go back to Arch. And they will bide their time. LDLC confident in their setups at the moment. 2 players towards pit for LDLC on the A side of the map. There's NIP work this map control. Freiburg in position here to try to create an opening. Happy might just find the challenge. There's Fiber creeps through the smoke, might get blasted. He catches his foot there, and that's a quick kill. Throws over the AK. And this is looking good now for LDLC, but NIP in the meanwhile work their way up. That's a good leg from Smiths. Can they build this though into a push here? They still can't get onto position. Get right opening things up for the Ninjas. And Shoxy locks down the pit. Trying to make his way through. I think just barely spotted by Shoxy. He won't get the kill and assist, actually wrapping around the side. Picks up the kill. Now all on Shoxy. He will get nothing. Freiberg gets the bomb planted there for his side. NIP in a great position to win this round.
Happy's going to come up from middle, so they've got a 2-position retake, but Forrest is in Boiler, should catch him pretty much right away. He's on low HP. He's actually gone by Forrest, but here it comes from behind. He will take him down easily, so it's all now down to NBK. The bomb continues to tick. What a shot on Freiberg. He's made the job easier, and Forrest is a bit far away and on low HP. If he finds this kill, he can do it. Get rights down. NBK, he's going to try and hold it. Can Forrest come out and get the peak? He hasn't done it, and he actually got off it. I'm not sure why. Forrest gets the kill nonetheless. And there's that terrorist round. The question is, can NIP do enough when they get over to the CT side? The bomb will at least knock out that AK, so consolation for LDLC, but a great round, NIP.
Absolutely. It's one apiece now, so each team has gotten one round, and now it's time for one of them to get an advantage moving into the second half. But who is it going to be? Right now, going to see the same setup from both teams. In fact, might be a bit more presence towards second mid this round. Bomb is around the bottom of Banana, and once again, things start off slow as map control is to be gained. In fact, we do have Kyoshima switched up his position a little bit. He's actually towards Boiler at the moment. And we do have a bit of apartments control here from LDLC. He's got a bit of a setup going with his teammate. Instantly taken down by Forrest. Great shot from him. Trying to pursue Shoxy as he's on the retreat, but Shoxy will get out of there. And Smiths has the cover for them if they are to push middle. So LDLC settle back down onto a defense, but it's a 3-on-3 now. And it couldn't be harder right now for LDLC as they don't know where these T's are. Creeping up for the play onto this A-bomb site. Smiths.
Oh, Smiths.
Unbelievable approach here.
Right's got no idea. Those smokes might just save him if he drops down. They're going to spam away. They do the damage, and it doesn't matter because Shoxy's already got him. But in the meanwhile, as they were all looking in that direction, Zis comes around, but Smiths is equal to that. Takes him as well, and now it's Michael Ailey. He's played so well in this match. There's no denying that, and he comes around. Oh, whiff from Smiths as he catches the truck. Michael Ailey bailed out again as he misses that shot. And now he's just going to go for that bomb plant and try and play it off positionally. Where's Happy? He's joined as well on truck side, so they're both there. Michael Ailey can't do it, and Happy jumps up in the fire. Means that he can't get out at all, so they get another round on LDLC's side.
Bomb has been defused. Counter.
All right, 17-16 LDLC going up one in advantage as they swap sides here. Second half of the first overtime here between NIP and LDLC. And this is really interesting right now, as I think neither team wants us to get the Cobble. But of course, well, except of course NIP, who need Cobble to win. So we'll have to see if LDLC can prevent that reality from them. And I'm actually really curious to see a Cobble between these two teams as well, because it's been quite a while since we've seen one in a really big tournament. So how do you...
I've actually, I shamefully admit, being North American, I've never seen Cobble because we don't play it over here.
Did you say you shamefully admit being North American? Come on, man.
Yeah, I know, I'm going to get called out for that.
Like, seriously.
My Twitter's about to blow up. I have no fans anymore. Dream's dead.
By the way, jumping in right here, 17-16. It's so difficult to call a weakness or an advantage for either team here because they've both been swapping their setups so much. We're seeing lots of mix-ups on banana control, lots of mix-ups on aggression on apartments. We've had LDLC on their CT side go from playing quite aggressively to actually playing all the way back in what I like to call the come-at-me setups. And we have now the second half kicking off now between these two sides. LDLC with advantage there, 17-16. No AWP for them. And what seems to be an initial quick play up middle as they have apartments under control. And they are going to force the smokes in from NIP, so it's going to delay them a little bit. We do have Freiberg pushing down Banana. Does have the deep smoke, and as you can see, NIP also mixing up their CT setups. They've had deep smokes, they've got the car smokes, and they've also been playing all the way back on the site as well. So leaving Freiberg there to begin with. Get right rotating or floating back towards the support. Freiburg is going to need someone else to help smoke Banana with him. And LDLC has to wait.
Be so careful. He tries to flash it off, but it's not going to catch out Michael. It does that time, though. And no shot to be made.
Here we go. Through the smokes now. They didn't want to get forced up middle into that big defense there on A. Not allowing NIP to dictate their pace. However, that smoke is going to be very annoying for them. But with the time as it is, they might just try to bully through. Freiburg right next to the smoke here. Get right in perfect position as well. This could be a complete massacre here. Get right picks up a frag. They're going to commit their way through. Freiburg picks up 3 in a row. Make it 4. Freiburg. Excellent defense there on Banana. Just as you would expect. And NIP take the first one on the second half there of this first overtime. And that's going to be a relief for them, tying things up with LDLC.
Amazing play. Amazing play from Freiburg. Holding on. They tie it up. They're on the CT side. I mentioned they got that 1T round. It's LDLC's job if they want to try and win this match now. It's all in their hands. Michael with an op. Has Smiths to go against as he has one as well. He does push up. He's holding that off angle. He didn't go for that mid pick, so perhaps a little bit cautious as now Freiburg and Get Right will try and work again toward Banana. Good nade down toward Tree. That does damage to NBK. They smoke it off one more time. That Molotov's going to actually go out. Get Right's held in and actually separated from Freiburg because of it. And that flash might give him an opportunity to come in, but he's just going to spray away because they can't quite find what they're looking for just yet. Michael knows they've thrown one nade. There's still a smoke. There has to be something going on at A. Where are they? Shoxy's in Boiler. Happy's on the stairs. They want to pour out onto middle. Exist in Forest. And Forest so good in that spot is definitely going to be tested. Where are the rest of the smokes?
They really want to push them back right now. They actually can still double back towards the Banana play.
There's a bit of a gap on the smoke on the left side, I believe, but Exist isn't going to push up. He doesn't want to get caught out. Forrest is going to get the first one as he's up above. He also gets the second one. Good positioning. Exist spams away at Library. Shoxy does go into him, but there's Michael on the rotation. He drops him out. So Smiths, run away and hide, my friend. Hold on to that AWP if you dare, but it is overtime. He's still going to go for it. He's got the bomb. It's 1-on-4. That flash does come out. It hinders his ability. Michael takes the first shot. They both miss as they exchange, and they do so again. And now just behind comes Get Right, and they are on match point. Ninjas in pajamas, looking to put us into Cobble. And unbelievable, the XGames not done just yet. Of course we were going to go down to the wire. How could we not?
Absolutely, but of course the money a little bit stretched here for LDLC. You've got to hand it to Forrest, man. This guy can actually get on top of the quad roof just by himself, just like jumping over from balcony, and he can do it like every time. It's especially in these high pressure situations in the grand final, pretty impressive that he's able to do plays like that just consistently. Picks up the 2 defensive kills. That's going to be the difference there in that round for NIP. And now LDLC, nice they want to force it to that second overtime. Oh, but they're already sustaining massive damage here on the opening. And Exist with 2 quick kills, locking down the bomb on quad. Things are looking desperate now for the French side as MBK is the last man standing against 4 Swedish giants on Inferno. And Michael is going to make the peak. And MBK really has nothing left to do but to die. And NIP going to bring this to a 3rd and final map in this grand final here live.
So there we have it. 1-1 in the grand final, Matt. Looking pretty good. And then Dust, going into map number 3. Yeah, it was Cobble. How is Cobble actually received by the Counter-Strike community? Is it a fan favorite or not? I personally hate the map.
It's probably the most hated map out of the rotation. I really hope that sometime soon it will be eliminated completely from competition and not used anymore. I mean, it's just way too CT biased. I mean, in the sense that as terrorists, there's so many angles you have to check that a CT could be like hiding behind or whatever, that it just takes you so long to be able to like safely work your way into a site. And the problem is, you know, the CT rotation between sites isn't really that great of a distance. And even you can play so passive with ops and such in the back of sites that it can be very hard to execute into anyway. Okay. And then on top of that, as terrorists, if like things are going poorly in one site and you want to try to like double back to the other, good luck. It's going to take you like 45 seconds to get to the other side of the map.
I heard,
so
I heard somebody compared it to the Octane Blitz of CS:GO.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's not a good
That
thing.
was the analogy I was giving.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dust, if you knew that, that was not a very good
that's
thing.
very bad. But talking about map number 3 then. What went down? What happened?
Yeah, so going to map number 3, the big shocker was the fact that NIP was even able to make it to a map 3. You know, after losing Dust 2 to LDLC, you know, everyone thought that LDLC would be able to take Inferno. It goes to overtime. Unfortunately, LDLC just kind of slipped up one round, allowed NIP to get an A execution in on that first half of OT to get that one round. I think that was the second round of that first half. And then the second half, NIP just went full lockdown mode across the map. You know, Freiburg had that big 4K at B. Forest had a big triple kill over at the A side of the map, and they just closed out the game 19-17. So this was insane that we made it to Cobble. Now, once we got to Cobble, we actually thought, or when I say we, I mean the majority of the community, probably thought that NIP actually would be able to win this match just because they had played it more. I mean, Cobble doesn't get played a whole lot, period. And granted, NIP had never played Cobble with Michaelele before as their 5th, so you had that factor, but still, overall, they had played the map more, and some of the like recent international competition, they had actually come across this map more often than LDLC had. But it wasn't as if LDLC didn't know how to play the map. They have played it in a couple of events, and so they show that they can play it. But it's a very CT-sided map. So in the first half, NIP actually are only able to get 10 rounds on CT side, which when I say only able to get 10, you'd be like, whoa, 10's actually, you know, pretty good. Now on this map, you really need kind of like 12, 13 rounds to really feel confident that you're going to win the game on T side afterwards, just because it's so CT-sided. It's the most CT-sided map in the rotation. There's no doubt about it. And so, you know, it's 10-5 NIP going into the second half. And, you know, the first test that NIP is faced with is trying to win pistol, which they don't. LDLC wins pistol. This, of course, leads to that standard 3-0, you know, type opening to the half, which means it's now a 10-8 scoreline. It's still in favor of NIP. And then LDLC also win the opening gun round. So now it's 10-9 in NIP. And basically what winds up happening is LDLC wins 11 rounds in a row. So all 11 rounds that they had to win in the second half to win the game. They don't drop a single round on their CT side, and they wind up winning the game 16-10. And I think we actually are going to show just kind of the last round, some of the celebrations, so you can kind of get a feel of how that event ended off.
Yeah, winning X Games is always a
pretty good. You would want to win the X Games.
Pretty cool thing. Yeah, it's
yeah,
one of the best events. So,
want to win.
Let's take a look at those closing moments for CS:GO at the X Games Aspen. Let's take a look.
What a map to win a championship on. It does come down to Cobble. There will always be a little bit of skepticism over that, but it doesn't matter. They both are equally inexperienced on it. It all came down to skill. And LDLC looking to win the first X Games gold medal, but NIP trying to wrap back around.
It's a strong angle there from Happy. Again, he's used this previously, but not for a few rounds, so it might catch NIP off guard if they're not looking for this. The silencer definitely helps out, but he is going to give his position away. But in the confusion, Shoxy gets a pick, but that is the return frag from NIP. 1-for-1 trade. That's actually pretty good. It's going to force the rotation. MBK going to come in from Connector, takes down Forest. Freiburg falls as well. Get Right and Exist now. All hopes rest on them.
And Happy's still above them. He can turn around and get behind them once Get Right goes through. He's still just peeking through the windows. Not sure why he's not quite there yet, but it's all on the shoulders of the Commander-in-Chief, Exist, and the best player, and, well, at least statistically, Get Right. And Exist is actually going to get MBK, so they draw it back into a 2-on-3. It's still doable as they try and charge forward. Happy has come back around. He is below them on the ramp. He's going to try and come in. Get Right gets Kiyoshima down to a 2-on-2. They are very low on health, though, and Happy's just waiting for this angle. As soon as they cross, it will be all but over. Smith gets Get Right, and that's going to do it. X Games, Aspen, Colorado. The first time ever gold medalist, LDLC, France over Sweden. It was a heck of a tournament, a heck of a match, but the French team comes out on top. And an absolute great effort, a repeat of DreamHack. NIP did put on a heck of a performance, as did a lot of the teams, pretty much every team that were here this weekend. But congratulations, LDLC.
Yeah, they're completely ecstatic right now. You can see that NIP devastated to lose that. They had such a strong tournament. Once again, LDLC proved to be the betters. And this is a storyline that's just beginning between these two sides. This is not the last matchup between LDLC and NIP that you're going to see in the grand finals. I'm sure that 2015 is going to bring many more insane grand finals just as this. So excellent, excellent tournament, excellent performances from so many teams and players.
And I said it Friday morning in our pregame show. 2015, the year of...
So there we have it, the closing scenes from X Games Aspen. LDLC. Congratulations to them. Looked very good throughout the whole weekend. But Dust, where can I find more CSGO action? What upcoming events has Counter-Strike Global Offensive got?
Well, we actually have another event taking place on MLG TV this weekend, actually. It's January 30th through February 1st. It's going to be ClutchCon in Denver, Colorado. So a lot of the teams that were at Aspen are just kind of chilling out for a week between tournaments, either at Aspen or Denver, just kind of hanging out. Cool. So Fnatic and Kaboom will be there, you know, two of the visiting teams, North American soil. All three NA teams that were at Aspen will also be there. So that's, you know, Liquid, CLG, and Cloud9. And then we have 11 other North American teams that'll be there. This includes, like, the big top NA teams like Torqued, like Netcode Guides, some of these other teams that are really big in the North American scene will all be there. This will actually be a really cool event to kind of fully understand where we're at NA rankings wise, not globally, because there's only like one real powerhouse team there globally going to be there, Fnatic, but this will actually be a cool event to kind of get an understanding of maybe where the NA rankings are at, because there's a lot of debate, who really is the top in NA, who are the top 4 in NA. There's really kind of a debate on what the order of that should be, and I think this event will, but because online play is really tough to judge off of, but this LAN will maybe kind of give us a better idea of who really is the top of NA. And we also have the NA teams and a lot of other teams actually about to start competing in some qualifiers for the next 250K major, which is ESL Katowice that's going to be taking place in March. So that process is starting to take place as well, starting I think actually today. So be on the lookout for all that.
Okay, sounds pretty good.
Sounds pretty good. Fnatic should win that event pretty easily coming up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Bounce back a little bit.
Just cruise through. I mean,
cruising on through.
XGames gold medal is probably a little bit better than.
Right.
I'm just saying, I would like to win XGames if I was a competitor. But Dust, thank you very, very much for coming on the show today. We really, really appreciate it. You're a knowledge of CS:GO, that is for sure. Where can we find you?
You can just follow me on Twitter or any of the social media. Just all of my social media stuff's at Dustmoret, so very easy to between Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, whatever. Just to search for Dustmoret and find me. So yeah, it's really simple, I guess. So you can follow me on there. I'll actually be at ClutchCon this weekend in Denver. Nice. Commentating those matches and doing analysis there live from the venue. So you can definitely just tune in to, I think it's mlg.tv/ClutchCon this weekend, and I'll actually be one of the people there, as well as some other guys from CEVO, one of the big North American leagues, and then I think we might even have pro players kind of rotating in and out to do guest work and stuff like that. So it won't be quite as big as X Games, but it'll still be a cool event. There's $15,000 on the line prize pool, so still a pretty decent event, and we have some good good at NA competitors there for sure. The cream of the crop of NA is going to be there, as well as some of the other teams that are looking to prove themselves. So it'll be a cool event. And then other than that, just follow me up. I do my own talk show from time to time that you can check out, and I commentate matches over at CEVO nowadays, and hopefully I'll be doing some other stuff and continue working with you guys. And it's been great.
Yeah,
man.
that'd be awesome.
All I can really say is, in closing, is just thanks for having me. It was awesome to be able to do, and also just big shout out to MLG. The CS:GO fans are definitely embracing you guys, so definitely just stick with it, and you'll be happy with your results.
Yeah, I'm excited to be doing more stuff with CS:GO. Good luck this weekend, though. Just hope you have a good time with your event, and enjoy the rest of your day as well. Thank you very much for coming on the show and shedding some light onto Counter-Strike. I know some of the viewers in the chat may not know too much about it, but that's going to conclude the Counter-Strike segment for today. For now, guys, quick commercial break. When we return, though, we'll be talking all things Call of Duty from the weekend. Be right back.